responsibility.
Okay.
I think
So how do we do that adjustment? Like, how does that work?
So is that what your understanding is, Blythe, that it was the connector?
Yeah.
And our guys support that? Yeah, okay. Then Marvin, tell them how to handle it.
And what we'll do is get together and adjust his bill for the leak,
Okay.
because it was ours. We won't follow the leak policy on that.
Okay.
So you'll get a total credit. With the, under our leak policy, you end up paying half of the overage, and the city each half of it. But if it's our fault, then we pay for all of it. You pay for none of it. And that's what he's saying.
Just your normal bill.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll go back and average what we'll do, like you did last summer,
Okay.
or whatever, during the same time frame,
Okay.
and we'll adjust it to that.
All right.
Thank you.
So do we need a motion on that, or just?
I just say let the city staff do their normal policy on that.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right, thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Thanks, Seth. Thank you, Blythe.
Okay, moving on to number 10. Consider approval of engineering service agreement with Plummer Associates to perform a structural evaluation of the clear wall roof condition at the water treatment plant due to the corrosion observed in the precast concrete roof members in an effort to determine if the roof can be repaired instead of totally replaced. So,
Therefore, and council, you have a memo from me in my office to the city manager about the clear well tank at the water treatment plant. Before we start off in the memo, this is part of the presentation with the tax note that we did, so this is nothing new. You've had it before, even though it sounds new because it's getting into the technicals of it. What you have there is a clear well groundwater storage tank. This is the last unit where the water is stored before it's pumped to the city, and the roof is in disrepair from on the inside and the outside. We had the engineers look at it, and they tell us that it has what's called pre-stressed concrete beams, and they need a structural engineer and also to do a full evaluation on that. The deterioration on the inside does have some exposed rebar, and they want that structural engineer to tell them how long it will last if we make repairs or if it needs a hole in the roof. And we have a proposal for you, and that proposal's broke down, as we stated, it's a total amount of $40,000 to do all this engineering services, and we'll have a full engineer report on it. And it's included in the...
this is included in the work that was already being done or going to be done?
Yes, sir, that was already pre-planned for you in that tax note.
We really don't want to happen what happened with the other. That's why we want to do the engineering.
Okay.
By the other, you mean,
Clarifier.
okay. Yep.
So do you need a motion on this?
Yes, we need y'all to approve the contract.
It's a contract.
Then can we just make a
Make a
motion?
motion to approve the engineering services agreement with Plummer and Associates for structural evaluation of clear well roof condition.
Second. Motion and second to consider the approval of engineer service agreement with Plummer and Associates to perform structural evaluation of the clear wall roof condition. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Moving on to item number 10. Consider approval to move oil and gas royalties from assigned to unsigned funds on the balance sheet from governmental funds, beginning with 2021 through 2022 already.
Your numbers different?
I'm sorry.
Are your numbers different? That's 11 for me. 10 for you?
What did I say?
You said 10.
Oh, I'm sorry, it is number 11.
Okay, well, I was just making sure we had the
Okay.
same agenda, yeah.
Sorry.
What we did is every year we go through the ratings, the debt rating for the city. We currently hold an A+. So going through it this year, in the general fund, what they call unassigned, which means it has no restriction to it whatsoever, is actually what you have in reserves. The other is committed elsewhere. When going through it, one of the things that stuck out was the oil and gas royalties, which since 2018 has never been anything but a revenue account. It's not been an expenditure. So therefore, it's not restricted to be expended elsewhere. I talked to the city auditor. She recommended, also agreed, and said that should be removed from being restrictive and would go into the unassigned. Yes, that'd only make about $100,000 difference, but I also found out that the $293,000 that was in there was from where we borrowed the money from government capital for the vehicles we purchased under the Volkswagen grant, and all of them come off after last year. So that would move our unassigned up to about $700,000 or $800,000, which is a whole lot better when you're trying to determine your credit rating. And so they asked me to come back with a performa that the auditor is going to help me with, but the only thing I'm asking tonight is for the oil and gas royalties to be taken and to be considered unassigned and not restrictive.
Seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I mean, so for the accountants out there, the retained earnings for a city, the equity, is classified as restricted, meaning the money has to be spent on something in particular by law or regulation. Assigned, which means the governmental body has said, we're going to set this money aside for this purpose, and we're not going to spend anything else, and then they can change that, and then there's unassigned and unrestricted. So you always want more money to be in this unassigned, unrestricted, because it's like you can do whatever you want to with it. So when we got the oil and gas money, Herman he wanted it to be assigned, meaning we're going to set this aside and spend it on what we want to spend it on. And when he had a pet project he wanted funded, then he would say, let's pay for this out of that pool of money. And then Marvin would deduct it, and it was sort of a running total. So since in the last years of his reign, I guess, he had sort of stopped doing that. So that money's just sitting over there assigned based on council action, so council would just take the action to unassign it, meaning it's just part of our general pot of money to spend however we want to spend.
But it goes into our reserve
Yes.
fund?
Reserves is another word for that fund balance, or this
Okay.
pot of money that, the city uses to cover the bad times and, whatnot.
And do we get oil and gas royalties every year?
Yes. Some, they're not as much as they used to be.
Yeah, we get them every month. Right now, we're running $500, $600 a month.
Yeah.
It's on the way
I
down.
think I get $7.
Costs more to write the check.
So, but see, it was new money, it was found money at the time, and that's why I was like, well, let's set this aside for our pet project kind of stuff.
So if we put this in our reserve every month, those funds
Right.
coming in will go into the reserve as well?
Yeah. So I'll make the motion to remove the assignment of the oil and gas revenues and make them unassigned and unrestricted for the current balance as well as future oil and gas revenues.
Second.
We have a motion and second to approve the city to move the gas and oil royalties to a unassigned fund or into our reserves, I guess. So it's not accounted, well, it is accounted for, but it's not restricted. So all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Okay. After 11 comes 12 in my book. Discussion and/or action on the city holding a Christmas parade this year. Kelly, you are doing this.
I have Brett here that's going to talk about it.
Who? Oh, okay.
Hello.
Hello.
So, as Yolis brought up, we are wanting to bring back the Christmas